Hello everyone, my name is Wakas, and in today's video I want to discuss how sitting down is killing you. Sitting down and sedentary behaviours have been shown to have a negative impact on your health, and in today's video I'm going to give you 3 techniques that you can use to help break up those long periods of sitting down and sedentary behaviours and increase your level of activity throughout your day. For many of us, we can spend a large amount of our time either sitting down or sedentary. This could be due to the nature of your job, especially if you work an office job, or simply a consequence of your daily routine. This is something I've experienced myself, as my desk job requires me to be sat down for a large part of it, and also some of my recreational activities in the evening, such as gaming, basically have me sat at my PC for extended periods of time. And this increase in sitting and sedentary behaviours can have the following negative impacts on our health. Okay, let's explore the negative impacts of sitting behaviours first. Sitting behaviours can have an increased risk of cardiovascular disease, cancer and diabetes. Furthermore, an hour of sitting is equal to a 14% increased risk of coronary heart disease. And lastly, sitting can lead to joint pains, especially in the neck and back. Now let's explore the negative impacts of sedentary behaviours. This can include increased risk of obesity and musculoskeletal problems, a lack of social interactions leading to anxiety and loneliness, and finally, muscle weakening and tightness. So now here are 3 tips for breaking up those long periods of sitting down, sedentary behaviours and increasing activity levels in general. The first tip is aimed at breaking up those long periods of sitting down. If, like me, you have a desk job where you pretty much have to sit down to do your work, you can invest in a standing desk. Moreover, if you aren't able to get a standing desk, try to find ways in which you can work that don't include so much sitting. One of those ways for me is, instead of sitting at my desk to do work, I opt to kneel at my desk. Currently I'm kneeling right now. As you can see, I'm not using my chair. I'm currently kneeling at my desk, and this is a great way to avoid those long periods of sitting which put my back in an awkward position and my neck. Thankfully, my desk is at a good enough height that I can actually kneel at my desk and also do my work. Something else I like to do to break up those periods of sitting is also standing at my desk. I can do this by putting my footstool on my desk and putting my laptop that I use for work at my desk on top of that footstool, and then that way I can have a semi-standing desk that frees up those periods of sitting down as well. And for those moments where you absolutely have to sit down, try to limit that time spent sitting down. A good technique you can use for this is the Pomodoro technique. This is a studying technique which involves 25 minutes of focused work and a 5 to 10 minute break. During those 25 minutes, you can spend that sat down, and that 5 to 10 minute break that follows that, try to spend that either doing some stretching or some light activity. Just don't be sat down during it. My next tip is all about reducing sedentary behaviours in favour of more active behaviours. For many of us, some of our pastimes include quite sedentary behaviours such as gaming or watching TV and lounging. Even reading generally is a sat down or lying down activity, and it's fine to have these, but try to break up these sedentary behaviours every now and then and just do something lightly active that you might enjoy and isn't too investment heavy. For myself, things that I like to do to break up sedentary behaviours include skipping. I love to skip. I find it super easy and convenient to do. Even just 5 minutes of skipping, I find it quite fun. I like to listen to music while skipping, and it's just a good way to break up those sedentary periods and increase my activity levels, even just slightly. I also like to go on walks around my neighbourhood. It doesn't take long, it only takes about 5 minutes to go around the block, and I can do that maybe 2 to 3 times whilst listening to a podcast or an audiobook, and that's something that I even enjoy doing and is active. And the third thing you can do is try out some bodyweight skill works. These may be as simple as just doing some bodyweight hollow holds or isometric holds, or could be a bit more advanced, such as doing some hand balancing or something a bit different, but just anything body weight, skill related, or even strength related. Maybe you have a goal of doing 20 push-ups a day. That can be quite achievable whilst also increasing your activity levels and also breaking up those moments of sedentary behaviors. And my final tip for increasing activity in general is to find a physical outlet. This may be a hobby or a social group or some sort of team sport. I just think this is a great way to stay committed to something, find enjoyment in being physically active, and of course, reaping all the benefits of being physically active. This may include things such as joining a team or recreational league, such as a football team or a rugby team. There are also activity clubs that you can join, such as walking clubs, hiking clubs, swimming clubs. There are also more fun activities that you can do that are generally quite active, such as dancing, taking improv classes, and finally, there are also social physical clubs that you can do as well. So for me, something I like to do that's quite social and quite physical is jiu-jitsu. It's a full contact grappling sport, so it's really physical, and yet I meet loads of people there, so it's quite social as well. And I find that element of doing something physical in a social setting is really fun, keeps me consistent, keeps me engaged, and also keeps me accountable to giving my best. So if you're looking to be more active in general, try to find a physical outlet that's right for you, something that you find fun and engaging, so you're more likely to be consistent and stick with it. So in conclusion, sitting and sedentary behaviors is something that we all partake in, and to some extent they are fine. However, we really need to make sure we limit these so they don't have negative consequences on our health. Again, these negative consequences include things such as increased risk of disease, weakened cardiovascular health, increased musculoskeletal problems, and also just general pain such as neck and back pain, joint pain, and so on. To combat these negative consequences, we can break up these extended periods of sitting down and sedentary behaviors, and we can try to increase our activity levels in general. I hope you found the information in this video to be useful. If you have any thoughts you want to share with me, please leave a comment down below, and I hope you have a wonderful day.